host, Dr. Amanda, and you're in the right place if you're a growth-minded entrepreneur who's ready to align your energy, mindset, and business growth habits to manifest entrepreneurial success. Whatever that means to you. I like to think of entrepreneurial success as waking up every day, feeling alive and inspired, excited to get to work because you love what you're doing and you get paid buckets of money to do what you love. That to me is success because, I can't quite imagine waking up every day and having to go to a prison type of situation, job that I hate, where all I want to do is break out and I feel miserable and stressed out. And if you're in that position, let's help you break through. If you are an entrepreneur full-time already and you're stressed out and struggling, let's get you to a magnetic success state. If you are successful already and you're listening, stay high vibe, keep hanging out with me. That's what this podcast is all about. I absolutely love to bring you tips and tricks and strategies and insights, new perspectives. I want you to walk away every episode feeling more alive, feeling more aligned, feeling inspired, and thinking, yes, I can do this because I believe in you. I know 100% it is possible for you to become a hyper successful, mega successful entrepreneur who loves what you do in the world and gets paid whatever amount that you choose to get paid. That's what's so awesome about being an entrepreneur. You have limitless potential, limitless impact options, limitless income potential, right? Like that is such a cool gift that we bring to the world as entrepreneurs and that you get to bring to yourself as an entrepreneur. So no more waking up feeling like crap. Today, you're going to learn 3 ways to raise your inner power vibe to be more magnetic to success. Oh yeah. I love this topic. We're going to talk about magnetism and how it works and why you might be magnetizing things you don't want versus consciously, deliberately attracting what you do want. And I'm going to talk about 3 ways to raise your vibe so that you can magnetize success more easily. So first, let's talk about magnetism. What really is magnetism? What's the difference between magnetism and manifestation? What's really cool is that the law of attraction is a combination of magnetism and manifestation. Now, I want you to think about manifestation as you consciously or unconsciously thinking about things, and your thoughts are what you're manifesting. So it's this deliberate act often. If you're sitting on your couch thinking, I want to manifest this goal, you are in a process of manifesting. Now, the interesting thing is you won't attract it unless your subconscious feelings are congruent with what you're thinking about. And what I mean by this is that you will always get what you're thinking about, whether you want it or not, based on magnetism. So the way magnetism works is through your feelings, your internal state of being, I think of this as your inner power, right? So whatever your state of being is your inner power, or it's going to be your inner repellent. It's going to be where you have your downward spiral because you're feeling stuck and frustrated. You're going to continue to magnetize to you. So just imagine you're a magnet and whatever you're thinking and feeling is what you're magnetizing to you, consciously or unconsciously. So you're always getting what you're thinking about, whether you want it or not. And the way that it comes to you is your most charged emotions and thoughts. So let's say you're spending the entire day thinking about all of the dreams you have about becoming an entrepreneur at the level of success that feels good to you. So let's say, you want to make a huge impact. You're looking for a 7-figure income where you have passive streams of income and you're teaching people in the world, doing what you love or serving people however you serve them. And you see this every day in your mind's eye and you visualize it, you daydream about it, you script about it in your journal, you talk about it. You're out there creating content and you're sharing your gifts with the world and you're feeling high vibe. Well, then your success is inevitable. You are going to attract that reality to you over a period of time. And, law of attraction happens in a period of time because you don't instantaneously create what you think about. Imagine if you did. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. So let's say that every thought you had, a lot of them are negative. The majority, around 85%, are negative is what researchers are finding. So let's say every time you had a thought, you attracted that thought your way instantaneously, your life would be a total wreck. The reason that you attract things is through magnetism, because what you're thinking about and what you're feeling on a consistent basis, repetitively, in the most powerful ways, is what's going to be attracted to you. So the reason why people don't get what they want is because they think that what they're doing is focusing on what they want, but what they're really doing is focusing on the lack of not having what they want. So in this last example where I said, imagine that you're visualizing yourself being a super successful entrepreneur and having all the things that you want, doing all the things you want to do, making the impact you want to make, and you feel high vibe about it, you're going to attract it your way. If on the other hand, you're thinking about those things, but behind the scenes in your subconscious, you're going, I don't know how to get there. And you're getting on social media and negatively comparing yourself to all the other people. You're thinking, well, why me? I'm not that special. I can't do it. Or you're thinking, well, I've never been able to be successful before, so why is it going to work now? Or I hear this one a lot. The market is completely saturated. Like there's already coaches out there. There's already real estate investors out there. There's already blank, blank, blank out there. Whatever type of expert entrepreneur you are, you're thinking, well, why, there's already this many people in my area doing this thing. There's already online entrepreneurs who are successful, so I'm not special. Why am I going to be able to do it? So you have the desire for it and you want this, yet your subconscious is battling against itself and causing you to resist and have negative thoughts about it. So that's what you're going to attract your way, the lack of the fulfillment of the thing that you say you want. That's really important to know. So if you aren't getting what you want, it's because you have internal conflict. I call this competing commitments. And what this causes is resistance, and you don't successfully achieve your goals or manifest that which you say you want. And so what's really important is to start to question, okay, if magnetism and manifestation happen through aligned thinking and feeling, what am I going to do every day to get myself aligned? That's your most important question you can be asking yourself. When I wake up in the morning, how am I feeling? Ask yourself this every single morning. And if when you answer that question, you're feeling stressed, you better do something to shift your energy, right? And that's what we're going to talk about, how to raise your vibe. So this is such an important tool. People often ask me, like, how can you get good at law of attraction? Or how can I be a successful entrepreneur even? And I always say to them, first thing is that you got to align yourself first thing. And I think often people think, Dr. Amanda, you're full of crap. Like, it's not that simple. And I'm telling you it is. And I know because I've done it myself and I've taught a lot of people to do it. And the reason is because we're talking about universal laws that exist whether you want them to or not. So right now you are consciously or unconsciously attracting everything that you are experiencing into your reality. If you don't like what you're attracting, you've got to change what's within. You've heard me say it before. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you don't like what's going on the outside, change what's within. And when I say what's within, we're talking mindset, energy, feelings, emotions, thoughts, beliefs. That's your first and foremost primary work if you choose to have outer world success. Most people don't do this though. What happens is they wake up, they feel stressed out, and they go, oh my God, I got to work harder to make it happen. And then they keep recreating the stress, and that keeps recreating a stressful reality. And whatever you believe is what you're going to attract into reality. Whatever you believe is what you're going to scan your reality to see to be true. And so it will keep proving itself to be true to you because that's what you believe to be true. And I want you to remember this. It is impossible to have a successful end to a stressed out, struggle-filled journey. So if you're waking up every single morning struggling and stressed out, it's not possible to get a future of success. If you're waking up every day unhappy and frustrated, it's not possible to create a future of happiness and fulfillment. That's literally an impossibility because what you're doing today is creating and paving the way for your future. So if today you're stressed out, you're not going to have a future of success and happiness. You might be able to make a lot of money in a stressed out way. I've done it in my history. I'm sure you probably have too. Like you might be working a job you hate and making 6-7 figures even. I've worked with people who come to me and say, I'm tired of making money, feeling stressed out. So it's not that you won't make money. It's that you won't enjoy the journey. And we don't want that, right? Success to me is not, I have a whole bunch of money in the bank, but I feel like crap. I've ruined my relationships. I've ruined my health, my physical well-being. I don't like my life. I don't sleep well. Like that's not success. We want to create success, which is fulfillment and holistic fulfillment. At least that's my version of success. Okay, so that's magnetism, manifestation, law of attraction. And, if you've been here with me, you've heard me talk about these things before. And I'll just keep reiterating this in multiple ways because I know that it's important to hear these things over and over and over again so that you can really integrate them into your being. My inner power formula is recognize, reframe, repeat to reprogram. So in that repeat to reprogram, you've got to be saturating your brain with this kind of information all the time. Like binge listen to my podcast, binge listen to anything that's going to fulfill or reprogram, let's say, your brain in a new direction. Because if you're getting a certain reality you don't enjoy right now, you've got to retrain and reprogram your brain for success. So I like to tell people I help you reprogram yourself for success to get rapid business growth. And the reprogramming yourself is what we're talking about in this podcast. Every episode that I share with you is about you reprogramming yourself. And sure, it might sound repetitive sometimes. It needs to be in order for you to reprogram yourself. You need to have daily habits that are repetitive in a direction of your success. So that's what this podcast is all about. Okay, let's deep dive into the 3 ways that you're going to raise your inner power vibe. And I want you to be doing these things every single day. If you do these things every single day without fail, you will notice rapid transformation. And in a year of time, you will be shocked at what you create. So, and consciously create, right? So let's talk about it. Number 1, I want you to have a morning routine to get aligned. And I've told you this before. If you haven't checked out my morning routine for entrepreneurs, just go to morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com. You're crazy. I'm saying that in a loving way, not a mean way. There's a 7-day free trial and people are getting awesome results. I'm having so much fun growing this program because there are more and more people coming in and more people engaging. It's a community of high vibe entrepreneurs who are driven to access the law of attraction, access their fullest potential, wake up to loving their life, loving themselves, loving their business, making easier money. It's a really cool program with daily lessons, meditation, mantra, journaling prompts every single day. So you're going to reprogram yourself for success. So go to morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com. If for some weird reason you're not willing to go check out the 7-day free trial of that and see if it's a good fit for you, then create your own. And what I would include in a morning routine is learning, journaling, meditation, and something that's affirmation based. I teach mantras because it's how you can program your subconscious mind and actually have it work for you. So you're going to want to do learning, journaling, meditation, and an mantra. Now, one addition to a morning routine that a lot of people do, which I absolutely think is critical, is physical well-being. So exercise. I've pivoted my morning routine to do my exercise at night at the end of my workday instead of the beginning of the workday. And this just works for me right now at this age and with the things I have going on in my life with taking kids to school and things like that. So that's why I've done that. If working out for you in the morning is how you get aligned, do that. If you're one of those people who will avoid working out at the end of the day and you'll neglect it if you don't do it first thing, do it because physical health is incredibly important. So just add that. I've taught my people in my morning routine for entrepreneurs program that they could listen to my lesson while they're exercising and then journal about it when they're done exercising. So you could integrate the two at once. I highly recommend every single person has a very routinized morning routine regimen that they love to do that brings you energy and raises your vibe. Now, remember, the reason this is so important is because however you start your day is what's going to snowball for the rest of the day. So if you start your day stressed out and rushed and overwhelmed, that's how the rest of your day is going to go. If you start your day focused, clear, aligned, conscious, strategic, that's how the rest of your day is going to go. And that's why it's important to have a morning routine to get yourself aligned. For me, like I said, this looks like I get up, my honey and I make this really cool, we're doing some new mushroom tea. So cordyceps and turkey tail and green tea. And we drink our tea and we listen to our morning routine and we meditate together and then we journal and we talk about it. And to me, that is like an amazing high vibe thing to do. It raises my vibe. It sets my mood in the right direction. It feels amazing. So have a morning routine to get aligned. That's the first thing you must do every single day. Number 2, start the workday high vibe and in control. And what I mean by that is if you start your workday out of control with no schedule and no tasks written down, no action steps, and you just sit at your desk and you go, what should I do next? You are planning for failure because you aren't planning your day strategically in an aligned way for success. So it's critical that you block your tasks, and you want to be asking yourself, what are my 3 to 5 highest priority action steps I can take today to get my expected results? That's a system. You want to systematize your time. So when you're starting your day that way, you're intentional with your time. You're setting boundaries with your time, and you're taking breaks. So an example here, blocking tasks would be you looking at your calendar, and I highly recommend you do this the night before so you know what to expect the next morning. So when you sit down at your computer or whatever type of work you do, you already know what your schedule is, and then you're intentional with your time. When you set boundaries, what this means, this is as simple as, you don't get on the social media to scroll and just goof around in the middle of the day for no reason, and then it takes you on a 2.5-hour wormhole, and then 2.5 hours has gone by and you haven't completed your action steps that are actually productive and going to get the results that you desire, right? You don't let someone call you in the middle of the day and say, hey, can I chat with you for a little bit? And then it turns into an hour conversation, and then you get off and you feel bad and you're beating yourself up because you feel like you shouldn't have taken that time to do that. And now you have this negative energy going into your work, and then it derails the entire day, and now you've got a lost day. So boundaries. So put your phone on airplane mode. Don't answer your phone. You're at work. If you were working in a department store, let's say as a checkout person, you wouldn't answer your phone to talk to your friend who had an emergency. That doesn't work that way, right? And probably their emergency isn't actually an emergency. I'm talking about like drama or something like that. It's not like if they're in the hospital and they need you, of course, you're going to go. If someone's just calling you to chat with you and their emergency becomes your urgency, you are letting them dominate your day, and don't do that. So set boundaries around your time, set boundaries around your office, around your workday, because you're treating your business like a business, and this is you also taking care of yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because you have too much on your plate. So what can you take off your plate, and how can you set better time boundaries? And time boundaries also look like saying no to things that aren't aligned. If something is not aligned in your zone of genius, say no. If someone asks you, hey, can you do this or can you do that? And your first thought is, this feels like obligation, say no. Learn how to say no. That way you start your day, you end your day, you spend your day in high vibe control. So that's number 2. Start the workday with high vibe and in control. And I would say carry through your workday high vibe and in control. And that's how you do it. Set time boundaries, set boundaries around what you're doing, block tasks, and be intentional with your time. This alone will raise your vibe so much. When you're clear about what you're doing every day and you set boundaries around it, you'll end the day going, yes, I am a badass. I did all the things on my list. I finished with energy. I feel really good. I'm planting the seeds of success, and everything feels awesome, right? And then your next day is going to feel good too. So you're creating an upward spiral trajectory using your inner power vibe to attract success your way. Okay, number 3, set your vibe before you do your tasks. What I mean by this, I'm going to give you several ideas of how to do this. So when I say set your vibe before you do your tasks, you want to check in with yourself and recognize how you're feeling. So ways to do this is energy check-ins. So you just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What happened to have me feeling this way? And if I do like how I'm feeling, awesome, keep going. If I don't like how I'm feeling, what's a reframe to raise my energy? And you want to do this several times throughout the day. Set an alarm on your phone that says energy check-in. If you haven't learned about my energy check-ins yet, just go to innerpower101.com, innerpower101.com, and I actually teach 5 strategies for you to raise your inner power vibe. So that'd be a great place to go for resources for this. Another thing you can do, emergency shift lists. So I have people write an emergency shift list. So when you are in a great mood and you are hanging out in your journal, just write down 5 to 10 things that you can do to shift your energy fast. This could be 10 squats in your office. This could be a walk around the block. This could be listening to a high vibe song that makes you feel good. It could be sitting on the couch and petting your cat or dog. This could be listening to 5 minutes of a podcast. Anything that you can do within 5 minutes or less, 10 minutes or less to shift your energy is what you want to add to your emergency shift list. And if you notice your vibe is off, you're going to do these things, one of these things on your list, to shift your energy. And so what this does is it creates a higher vibe before you take action on something, which then causes the action to be high ROI because you feel good, so you're attracting good things your way instead of attracting crap and chaos and stress. Another way to do this is before you get on a sales call or a consult call, check in with your vibe, raise your energy, ask yourself, how do I want to show up on this call? What's the best outcome possible on this call? What do I need to drop or let go of when I get on this call so that I can show up in a state of presence and power when I talk to this person who I'm serving, right? So that's you setting your vibe before you do tasks on your list, okay? Another example of this would be have clarity and set intention when you're taking action on, let's say, putting something out in social media or in an email. You want to check in with yourself. What's the intention behind this? Does it feel good and aligned? And what do I need to say that's going to bring powerful impact? Instead of checking a box and just doing it to check it off the list, where you're putting out negative, toxic energy. So let's say that you feel like you have a lot on your plate and you're going, oh my God, I've got 8 million things to do. I just need to knock this out. When you put that out in the world, you're actually attaching your emotion and your thoughts to it. And if you're sending it out in a state of obligatory stress, that's what you're sending out. That's what you're going to attract back. So you want to send it out in a state of like, ooh, imagine someone receiving it and smiling. Imagine them reading your words and it having an impact. Imagine them receiving it and it's the exact thing they needed to hear today or they needed to receive today. So clarity about what you're sending out into the world, clarity behind what you are putting out through setting an intention before you do it will raise your vibe and cause what you put out to be more magnetic to success. So those are 3 simple ways that you can raise your inner power vibe every single day to be more magnetic to success. And remember, these are going back to energetic alignment. These are habits that you're going to implement. If you do these 3 things every single day, I want you to reach out to me and let me know how it goes, because I promise you, you will attract success your way magnetically. So I'm going to recap 3 things. Number 1, have a morning routine to get aligned. Number 2, start the workday high vibe and in control. And number 3, set your vibe before you do your tasks. And the last action step is go to morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com, morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com. And if you have not yet, register for the 7-day free trial. Get in, check it out, see if it's a good fit. I promise you it will be. This program is just rocking and rolling for people. So I want to see you there. All right. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a fabulous, spectacular, magnetic, high vibe day, and I'll see you next time. And until then, I'm sending you hugs and inner power high fives.